I want to share with you my strategy moving forward based on the government's tax changes and based on my personal property portfolio, where I'm at right now and where I'm heading in the future. To give you a breakdown, my current property portfolio sits around $12.5 million and I roughly have a net worth of around $5 million. And I've been building the property portfolio since 2018, buying residential houses, adding value through renovations, and currently I'm undertaking 3 major developments, turning 1 into 2, so doing strata subdivisions, as well as completing 2 granny flats in the last 24 months as well. So let me break down for you. There is a full video out there if you want to go and see on the YouTube channel the full property portfolio where I show you the suburbs, the values, the incomes, and essentially how I break down the current property portfolio as it stands. But this video is more about the future. What am I doing moving forward into 2026, 2027 and onwards? What are my core values as to what I'm looking to get out of investing in a property portfolio? And how can you apply this to your own circumstances? How can you take what I've done and I'll continue to do in my journey and apply that to your journey so you can get the most out of what you're looking to do with your own property portfolio? So if you look at my current property portfolio, I have around 10 residential assets. I've currently got 1 property under sale and I'm going to be selling another into the next financial year. My plan is actually to sell 1 property every single financial year for the next 5 years. And the reason is I'm completing those 1 into 2 property developments and I'm thinking about the velocity of money, particularly on top of the budget announcement and the fact that the government is only going to allow negative gearing and CGT exemptions where you can choose the 50% model or the indexation model on new builds only. Doing these strata title subdivisions will essentially allow me to claim the negative gearing and choose the CGT outcomes when I do sell the new asset. In the meantime, I plan to sell 1 of those front homes every year the next few years. And it gives me the power in terms of velocity of money. And velocity of money is a pretty simple concept, but it's about turning over your money in a quicker time frame to speed up the gains that you're making. So that's exactly what I plan to do with my development projects. Buy a site, develop the back block over an 18-month window, sell the front property, and keep recycling project after project after project. The reason I like these projects so much is they're actually pretty low risk in the scheme of things. The development costs are around $400,000 to build a basic 4-bed, 2-bath home, and the renovation on the front house is somewhere between $50,000 to $100,000. So the project size is around $500,000, which is not a small amount of money, but in the scheme of things of how much you can do in terms of the cost of development projects, it's actually not that big of a risk compared to doing, 4 townhouses or 8 unit blocks and so on. The other great thing about these projects is if they fall over or we have issues, there's also the ability just to sell the site to someone else. So because I'm getting rent on the front home, which I've renovated typically when I buy the site, that means I could sell the whole site if I get into financial stress for whatever reason, or don't want to go ahead with the project, or the feasibility doesn't stack up. And if the DA doesn't get approved, I might be able to do a building approval straight away to build a secondary dwelling as long as I've bought well. So I can build a granny flat instead of strata subdividing. So that's what I'm planning on doing on the project front. On the debt front, I'm actually planning on paying down some debt with each of these sales rather than actually pushing the money into more and more and more projects. I want to balance those things. So one of the targets that I've got is $150,000 net income, regardless of what else is happening in my business or my personal environment. I want the property portfolio to start spitting off some strong cash flow. Now, currently the property portfolio has historically taken around $50,000 to $80,000 at its peak out of my pocket, and there's been periods where it's largely been neutrally geared. Emily and I as a couple always wanted to work to a neutrally geared portfolio before these tax changes even came in, because we were always visionary in terms of we didn't want the portfolio to add stress to our lives, to take away from our day-to-day. And so by targeting a neutrally geared portfolio, it meant that as we were growing the asset base, we weren't stressing more about the portfolio and it getting from 3 million to 5 million and 5 million to 7 million. And now it sits at 12.5. It's still relatively neutrally geared. The way I've been able to achieve that is mixing capital growth and cash flow assets. So the original strategy for the start of our journey in 2018 was to buy as many growth assets as we could, which were very negatively geared, and then balance that out with unit blocks and granny flats. And that's exactly what we did between 2018 and 2024. Unfortunately, in December 2024, Emily passed from ovarian cancer, and I thought I was going to pull the brakes. I thought I was going to sit back, chill out, sit on that $7-8 million asset base, continue to run the buyer's agency, and just basically, sail off into the sunset as far as the portfolio goes. But I do enjoy this work. I do enjoy finding good deals. I do enjoy renovating, adding value. Not so much on the tools anymore. You won't see me picking up a hammer or a paint sprayer anymore, even though I think a paint sprayer is the best thing you could do in terms of spending money when you're renovating DIY. But the vision moving forward is to enable and build the team around us in terms of trades and builders and contacts and town planners to execute on these projects without me actually having to be as hands-on as I used to be. We tried that many a time. We even did a flip project in Aspley in 2023 where I essentially made less than minimum wage. And so I've learned that the long-term strategy but looking to add value significantly is the way I want to continue to move forward. And so I ended up buying 5 deals, which is mind-blowing, honestly. 5 deals in 2025. I bought 2 deals in April in Bundamba in Ipswich, which is one of the suburbs in Ipswich City Council along the train line. I bought another deal in November in Redbank Plains in Ipswich, and then 2 deals in Melbourne, one in Geelong and one in North Melbourne called Thomastown. That's the suburb. So 5 deals in 2025, and now 2026, I plan on selling down some of my older deals to pay down large chunks of debt, to recycle a sale every single year and be tax effective between the distributions from my business and the sale down of assets that are in company, trust, or personal name structures. So that's exactly what I'm doing, because what's the whole point of building a property portfolio if it adds more stress to your life, if it's taking away from your cash flow, and it's not really adding to your choices? You have to make a decision at a point in time about when is enough enough. And when are you content with what you have versus chasing more? And I've certainly hit that tipping point, getting the portfolio over that $10 million mark, to realize that growing it to $20 million in a short period of time and having $200,000 of negative gearing or negative cash flow is not what I'm looking for. I really want that $100,000, $150,000 passive income, and I'll tell you how I'm getting there, rather than having a doubling the size of my portfolio. Even though the growth on 20 million would be $2 million at 10% rather than $1 million on a $10 million portfolio, I'd rather still have the 150K coming in and get my $1 million of growth rather than get $2 million of growth, but I've got to fork out $200,000 or $300,000 in cash flow, meaning that there's stress there in terms of work and minimum standards and all those things involved. So how am I planning on restructuring to achieve these results? So I'm going to go through a consolidation period, sell assets, another asset. I'm going to actually sell the Bray Park project in the next month or so. So that'll be on the market. And that's going to sell really well in this current tax environment. Because they've made the budget changes, clamping down on negative gearing and changing CGT, that property is a licensed granny flat, so it was done legally with a builder. It's a dual living opportunity. It brings in $975 a week on current market rent and would be even higher than that in terms of actual market rents. And so I'm expecting to achieve $1.1 to $1.2 million on the sale there in Bray Park. And that'll free up debt and free up capital to go towards each of these developments that I'm doing. Now, as you know, the developments cost around $400,000 to $500,000. So if I can clear $400,000 or $500,000 on the sale of Bray Park, which is a dual income property, that yields about 4.5 to 5% gross on the residential asset there, and then transition into commercial properties, which can net between 6 to 7% net yields, not gross yields, then that's where the passive income is really going to come in the next 24 months. So I've got a couple of commercial property purchases in the pipeline. One is going to be our office space. So in December 2026, so in just about 6 or 7 months, we're expecting to get access to our office on the south side of Brisbane in Logan, in a suburb called Shayla Park, where we're opening our new offices for the business purpose property. So I'm buying that commercial asset outside of my business, and that will genuinely give me a level of passive income, because I'm either going to rent that with my business, or if we outgrow that space over the next 24 months and move into a larger space, then there's tenancy income for the tune of about $70,000 for the space that we're purchasing. And we bought really well there because it is established. It's an infill commercial development, which is industrial. So they're building those large sheds, and we're going to use it as an office space, but it could be used for businesses, sparkies, electricians, businesses like mine. So it appeals to a lot of people, that commercial space that I'm buying. The other big commercial deal that's in the works is to buy a property in New South Wales. I can't give you all the details yet, but in the next 1 or 2 years, and then not even less than that, in the next 6 months, I'm expecting to close a deal around that $2 million mark, give or take, and that will generate over $100,000 of net income. Now, the cool thing about these multiple deals and reducing some of the debt levels is that's how you achieve a relative passive income of $100,000 to $150,000. Now, it does reduce the asset or the portfolio size, so I might go from $12.5 million to say $10 million in terms of the asset base, and then I'll keep turning over money on these projects to chunk down the debt deal by deal. So that's my personal strategy moving forward. I'm really focusing on adding value through these strata title subdivisions. I'm really focusing on getting about 30% of the portfolio into commercial space. Eventually, I want that 50-50. Eventually, I'd love, $5 million of commercial, $5 million of residential paid off. But I do like the idea of having a portion of debt, 30%, 50% LVRs, even up to 60, 65% LVRs, which is where I roughly sit at the moment. And so ideally, I want to mix 50-50 between commercial and residential. And I don't want to wait forever to have these choices. I think it's honestly more of a mental game at this point, because realistically, with my net worth and my business cash flow, I'm so well off. That's the honest reality. And a lot of people, you're probably watching this, are aspirational and want to work towards these goals. And I don't share all this information in this video with you to brag, to say, look how well I've done, look how great I am. It's more about taking you on the journey. I've documented this journey from the last 6 years. There's hundreds of videos out there where you can see me DIY renovating at 23 years old, 25 years old, 27 years old. I'm 31 now, and I don't want to wait another 5 or 10 years to really just pull the stress out of the portfolio, increase the cash flow, still have a nice large asset base, because I could do that at 35 or I could do that at 40, but I want to do that now. I want to make those changes now, because life's not all about having a bigger portfolio. The guys with the most properties or the most asset value doesn't win. I can tell you that. I can wholeheartedly tell you that you can be just as happy where you sit right now as you can in my shoes with, a multi-million-dollar net worth. You can actually be just as happy now. That comes from my faith in Jesus. That to me is the biggest reason that I do what I do. So the business is called Purpose Property. It alludes to that every single property has a purpose. And in my opinion, your property portfolio should help you live out your purpose, help you live out your values. And I wouldn't be living in alignment with my faith or my values if I delayed these decisions for another 5 or 10 years. My boys are 4 and 2 years old, Asa and Eli. And I've shared a little bit over the years on the channel about the family and dynamics, but losing Emily to cancer has taught me a lot of things, and it's actually taught me not to delay forever. I don't want to delay these decisions just for a bigger dollar figure in the bank account in 5 or 10 years' time. I want the cash flow and flexibility in the next 12 months. I want it now, because delaying forever for feeling that financial freedom, maybe the passive income's 300 grand in a few years' time. But for me, it's not about that. It's about living intentionally, having the choices. And again, a lot of the reason people sign up in the buyer's agency is because we don't pressure our clients. We're here to work in your best interest to help you get where you want to go. So that is my plan moving forward. Hopefully it's been insightful for you to hear and see what I've been doing the last 12, 24 months and my plans in the next 12, 24 months. If you do want help buying in Queensland or buying in Victoria, we help everyday Australians buy their own home or investment properties in both of those states. You can head over to purposeproperty.com.au to book in a free 20-minute chat with myself. And when you sign up as a client, we'll help you with not only the acquisition, but the entire team around you. Mortgage brokers, property managers, building and pest inspectors, town planners, builders, renovation teams, anyone you need throughout that journey we help you with. And there's always post support as well. We do 30-year plans with you in terms of building out your portfolio. And I want you to have that vision. What is your vision for your life in the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years? This has been my plans moving forward. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click this video here for more things real estate renovating and financial freedom. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.